Alright, I'm back. Well, I'm not back. You're back. I've always been here. You're the ones who are back. I'm here. I've always been here. So welcome back. Today is another sketchbook tour. Haven't done one of these in a wee while, actually. I have been doing lots in my sketchbook, but I've got like 3 or 4 different ones going, so it kind of like none of them are finishing, but they'll probably all come at once. But anyway, this is quite a good one. It's this big blue one. I really enjoyed making this sketchbook. And I enjoyed making this wee tour. Alright, so here we are. Here we are again with another sketchbook. Another one done. This one's a bit bigger. This one's a bit bigger than the other ones. And also in some ways a bit more interesting. So this is a Stillman and Birn beta series. I really like these Stillman and Birn sketchbooks. They're really high quality paper. The stock is really thick. It can take a lot of damage, a lot of abuse, a lot of different media. I really like them. And I must have said something like that in a post, an Instagram post or something, because the company actually got in touch and sent me this. They didn't ask me to do anything or say anything nice about it. They just did that. That was really good. I really like that. But it's a nice thing. I like the soft cover rather than the hard cover. Something about that I just like at the moment. And I like this blue. It takes, and the texture, the material as well. I just like it. It's got a good soft feel. Anyway, it's not an ad. It's not. It's really not. It's about the drawings inside. But just to say that I did like this sketchbook. So these 2 opening ones are actually more like the end. So these are the last 2 things I did in this. You might have seen that. I posted something about it. But yeah, this is just some sort of semi-random things. Just kind of oil sketches. This was the real first page. These are some studies for a painting I was doing, a commission. Just some different ideas about composition, pose, colours, and then just doodles on the side, pen and ink stuff. This is pretty interesting, this one, because I worked on this over a few weeks, and this is Central Station in Glasgow. The fire that happened last week was just in the building in this corner on the other side. So this is all closed at the moment. But I would sort of draw a couple of people each day as from my commute. I would take a sort of photo of the crowd and I would just draw a couple of people. Or I would just get them from somewhere. Which was quite good. It was quite good to build it up slowly. But it did mean, because I was doing it in all these separate chunks, that there is like perspectival problems. Everything's all here is okay, and then she is like a giant.
Okay.
Obviously, I haven't mentioned the bear, but I don't know. Maybe I won't. So I was really at the time into my fountain pen, a Lammy Safari, and I still really like it. That Heart of Darkness ink, it gets a really, really, really dark line. It wasn't until I started using that ink, it's called Heart of Darkness. It wasn't until I started using that ink that I realised that my lines weren't actually black. It's like that joke in Father Ted, he's talking about how he didn't realise that, you know, this black socks were black unless you get them from the specific priest socks company. And only then do you realise that everything else is grey or navy blue. Oh, bum. A little self-portrait there. Don't do as many self-portraits as I used to. That's my cat. So that was just after my son was born. It was amazing to think he was once that size. But he was. Don't know why there's so many bums. It's because a lot of these are like things that I would do from figure drawing, like life drawing. Obviously that's not, I don't know where that's from, but I like it, it's a good image, it might be making good painting. But I have seen other people paint that same reference, which does put me off. Again, more like these figure studies. And I think a lot of the references I get, especially things like this, are from TV and film. There's all these websites that are like, they have all these screenshots, like film grab, and you can even just press random, it gives you a random film, a random bunch of screenshots. And people put a lot of effort into cinematography. And there's a lot of good cinematographers out there, and so you get good compositions, good lights. So it's a great source of just, doodles. Oh, that's that. I did have a YouTube video about that painting, the Kurosawa value study. So that's the little ink thing I did as a test for that. I need to do more of these tests. The tests are really important. I can never be bothered doing a little test like this, but whenever I do, I'm so glad that I did. I feel like I learn a lot from it, and it makes me much more intentional. And maybe that's something I'm going to talk about in painting more. It's about intentionality. I don't have enough intentionality. Or do you say intentionality? Maybe you just say intention. I don't have enough intention, but I need to have more. And so you'll see more coming. I filmed this, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Both of these, this one's a Sargent copy, which I think I already covered in a YouTube video. But these two are both two images from about this building, this Fermini Chapel. This is my wife in the chapel, and this is the chapel. It's really interesting. I think I'm going to speak more about it. It's a weird, interesting building. It's all about... It's a cosmic clock, but it's also about the rain. This is one of these unreal stories I saw in you get these news outlets, if I can even call it that, like, Birmingham Live. I think there's Bristol Live, I think this was. Someone got a kind of Witherspoons tattoo in a heavy metal font. Just thought there was something really funny about that. I don't remember where this is from. I like that bit of the finger. Must have been another, TV or film scene, this. Lunch. I was just drawing loads of giraffes for ages. I think that's why kids were asking about giraffes. So did that. And I meant to finish this skeleton, but I never did. There's some folk that I know. Wall Street. Some more figures. I just really like how this paper handles a lot of different things. Watercolor here, ink, washes, pencil. It's really good at all of these things. I think maybe all things considered, I prefer a smoother paper. This has got a real texture to it. This is probably my favourite page in it. Just like that scene, the landscape, light, and then this clear figure. But just that sense of the lushness of the garden. I was trying to get that without drawing too much. I think it worked really well. I think just the facial expression here and this face lets it down, but this figure, I think it's great. I think you should maybe do that as a painting. But I'm more intimidated by painting something like this than I am drawing it. Getting towards the end, again, just lots of like figures and poses. You know, this sketchbook is about just trying things out, sketching stuff. I think a lot of these are like copies of Kim Jong-gi again. Trying to be that kind of nice, efficient way. Again, the watercolour. I like this watercolour over ink with another layer of ink again. I need to do more of it. Yeah, and that's it. Here we are at the end. That's it, another sketchbook done. There we go, all done. Alright, thanks for watching. Some of you might have noticed, probably not, but I did a test live stream and it worked out pretty well. So I'm going to probably do some more of that. I'm going to try that again, maybe today. But given that this is going to be in the future, I don't know what day this is. This is in the past. Today is in the past. So maybe by now, I've already been doing it much more. Maybe it's quite good. I might not do like whole days. I'll just do like chunks, bits of paintings, or maybe some quick ones. It could be quite good fun, but it's a bit weird. I like watching TV and stuff when I'm painting or listening to podcasts. I can't really do that if I'm streaming. Can you just stream and listen to a podcast? Like all listen to the podcast together. Doesn't seem right. I'm also getting worried about forgetting that I've even turned on a stream, forgetting about it and just leaving it running or something. Anyway, all sorts of things to think about and worry about. The technical side seems to work okay. Alright, that's it. I'll see you later.